The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
You're now tuned into a Planet Fanatics production.
What's up and what's going on, fellow fanatics, and in this video I'm coming to you with some Spider-Man 4 news from Kevin Feige himself in an interview that he did with Gizmodo. In that interview with Gizmodo, he did confirm that the script for Spider-Man 4 is being reviewed relatively soon. He went on to say that Amy Pascal and I are working on it. We have writers who are going to be delivering us a draft relatively soon. And if you're in any of these spaces online, then you have seen a lot of the rumors and leaks and theories for Spider-Man 4. Spider-Man No Way Home was a massive success for Marvel and Sony. The film did so good that they re-released it in theaters. No Way Home is by far one of my favorite films on the Marvel timeline. But in a lot of those reports that have come out, one of the main questions have been who is going to direct Spider-Man 4. We know that Marvel Studios and Sony are moving away from director Jon Watts, who helmed all three of the Spider-Man films within the MCU, and they are now looking for a new director. Spider-Man Homecoming screenwriters Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daley will return to write the script, and it was even reported at one time that the Ms. Marvel co-directors were being eyed to helm the film. Marvel Studios is also reportedly looking at a few different indie directors as well. And recently reported from very credible scooper Daniel RPK, Sam Raimi is reportedly Marvel's top choice for Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. However, in other reports, we've learned that a director is likely to be announced in August. When it comes to the plot for Spider-Man 4, there have been a lot of different reports going around. It was reported earlier in the year that Marvel Studios and Sony were going head-to-head about what they wanted this film to be. Marvel Studios wanted the film to be a lot more grounded, as to where Sony was wanting to repeat the success of No Way Home and make it a more multiversal film, bringing in Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield once again. This was a question that went around online earlier in the year, asking fans, would you want to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in Spider-Man 4 in another multiversal film? And I had said no. Personally, I did not want to see them show up in Spider-Man 4. Out of the three of them, Andrew Garfield is by far my favorite Spider-Man. I love his films, and I love how he carries himself as the character. But I think that it would diminish everything that we just saw in No Way Home, and especially what we're going to see in Secret Wars, if those rumors are to be believed about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield coming back for Secret Wars and possibly even Avengers 5. I don't want to see them until then. I would love for Spider-Man 4 to be a bit more grounded with a few multiversal elements that you could put there at the end to tie it into everything that you're currently doing with the multiversal saga, because what we do know is that Spider-Man 4 is supposed to bleed directly into Secret Wars and Avengers 5. But here are a few reports of what we do have of what the plot could look like for Spider-Man 4. And it reads saying it's more likely that the follow-up movie would focus on a more isolated, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, possibly allowing for an installment that's more squarely focused on Holland's Peter Parker and his evolution as a superhero. This new story is massively different, as it goes in a completely opposite direction, with him completely burying his life he had as Peter Parker and replacing it with the mantle of Spider-Man, as he's haunted by his guilt from No Way Home. It's trauma, PTSD, and a whole lot of nightmares, lots of stressful nights and being unable to sleep, using Spider-Man as a coping mechanism so he doesn't have to deal with the nightmares of his past. Spider-Man is the face of vigilantism in New York City, and rest assured, Mayor Fisk will do everything to put all vigilantes behind bars, not just the ones you know, but the ones that are hiding too. Wilson Fisk and his task force will get them all. And much of the plot is what a lot of us speculated it would be, a lot more grounded Spider-Man, that more friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, the way we ended No Way Home, seeing him swing with the new suit, seeing him as poor, seeing him not knowing anyone, having no friends, having no family, having no loved ones, finally living in the apartment with the police scanner, just listening for crime and being that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, that grounded level Spider-Man. And we also heard from a few leaks and rumors that Wilson Fisk will be one of the antagonists in the film, building off of his appearance in Daredevil Born Again, where he is to become the mayor of New York City. But here's everything that we do know so far when it comes to Spider-Man 4. According to Jeff Snyder, Spider-Man 4 will begin filming this fall, around September or October. Spider-Man will be about Peter Parker's identity fading away as Peter fully becomes Spider-Man. The Venom symbiote will be the main plot of the story. The symbiote won't be attached to our Peter at first, leading it to take possession over someone else's body. Rumor says it's Scorpion. Spider-Man is nearly brutally killed. He would then come in contact with Venom's symbiote. In his mind, Peter Parker is no more, but Spider-Man lives on. Since he has either lost or detached himself from everyone he's ever loved, all he has to keep him going is being Spider-Man, whether the city loves him or not. Jacob Batalon will return in the MCU in the new Spider-Man trilogy as Hobgoblin and will have connections to the multiverse. The events of Daredevil Born Again will lead directly into Spider-Man 4. Daredevil is rumored to appear in Spider-Man 4. Matt Murdock will also be helping Peter Parker with legal issues in the film as the Department of Damage Control is still harassing vigilantes. Marvel wants Spider-Man and Daredevil to be seen as equals and just two vigilantes coming together to do good and stop the violence in New York City. Michael Mando will also reprise his role as Scorpion in the film. One of the rumors is said to be Kingpin, who will put a vigilante law into effect, stopping all street-level heroes and villains alike from performing their actions throughout New York City. Peter is the chosen one of the 616 universe. Spider-Man 4 will feature returning villains from the home trilogy and will introduce new ones that haven't appeared in the MCU. Tombstone has been written in some early drafts of the film, working under Mayor Fisk, aka Kingpin's criminal organization, and being his top hitman. Miles Morales and Black Cat were rumored to appear in early drafts of the film, with Mr. Negative being in the current script for the film. Spider-Man and Daredevil would have already met each other in unseen events prior to the movie, but don't know each other's identities yet. Sony is reportedly casting the role of Miles Morales in an upcoming live-action Spider-Man project that Amy Pascal has teased. Kate Bishop doesn't appear in the film, but she is mentioned. And the spell that made everyone forget about Peter Parker on Earth 616 also affected Andrew Garfield and Tobey's universes, making their worlds forget about them as well. Other villains rumored to appear are Scorpion, Vulture, Prowler, and Shocker, with the film set to begin filming in 2025. This news is coming from Holyfield News, Daniel RPK, Jeff Snyder, Rejected Scooper, Production List, and My Time to Shine Hello. Now, of course, take all of that news with a massive grain of salt, but one thing that I really do truly believe is going to be happening in Spider-Man 4 is that we are going to see Wilson Fisk as mayor of New York City. Those events are supposed to be taking place in Daredevil Born Again, where he is going to be campaigning, as we saw at the end of Echo, where he saw that New York was looking for a new mayor, which started the wheels to spin in his head that he's going to run for mayor of New York City. And I also do believe he's going to outlaw all vigilantes, which is going to put him face to face with Spider-Man. And I love Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. I think that he does a phenomenal fucking job in that role, and I cannot wait to see him team up with Tom Holland Spider-Man and see that fight on the big screen. But also from the rumors, we learned that there are a lot of other villains set to appear in Spider-Man 4, which led me to personally believe that could they be doing a type of Sinister Six type deal like they did in the 90s animated Spider-Man show. But like I said, take all of this with a massive grain of salt. None of this is official from Marvel Studios outside of Kevin Feige saying that they are going to review the script relatively soon. We also did have Tom Holland that spoke on him being involved in the creative process for Spider-Man 4 like he's never been involved in the previous 3 films before. He spoke about this back in April, and this was with Deadline, where he said, "This is the first time in this process that I've been a part of the creative so early. It's just a process where I'm watching and learning. It's just a really fun stage for me. Like I said, everyone wants it to happen, but we want to make sure we're not overdoing the same thing." Now, Tom Holland obviously is going to return as Spider-Man outside of Spider-Man 4 and a couple of other projects within the MCU. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe in his contract he's got, I think, 3 more projects within the MCU that he is going to be a part of. So we should see him obviously in Secret Wars and Avengers, and I believe 1 more project. And outside of Amy Pascal speaking about the live-action Miles Morales film that is being worked on over at Sony, Tom has also spoke about bringing Miles Morales into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where he said, "I'd be honored to bring Miles Morales into the live-action world. How we do that, I don't know, but given the opportunity, I would jump at it." A lot of us have been wondering, when are we going to see Miles Morales in live action? We've gotten hints of him in live action from the previous Spider-Man films, but when were we going to see him? And I do believe that that is going to happen very, very soon, and I'm here for it. I'm very excited. I'm a huge Miles Morales fan as well. The last thing I have to report on here is an interview that Thomas Rothman did with Deadline, where he was kind of teasing the future of Spider-Man and the future of Beyond the Spider-Verse and where all of this is going to be going, where he said, "Let me tell you, when the last of the Spider-Verse movies come out with Phil Lord and Chris Miller, it's going to be a significant event, as will the next Tom Holland Spider-Man film." So Sony is teasing a lot of the Spider-Man stuff they have for the future. I don't know if that excites anybody, considering Sony hasn't excited anybody with Spider-Man thus far, but your mileage may vary. And maybe you are excited for some of the things that Sony is doing outside of Spider-Man 4 under the Sony umbrella in their Spider-Verse. But as always, question is for you guys. Let me know down below in the comments if you are excited for Spider-Man 4. Let me know if some of these leaks and rumors excite you, if you believe any of them, if you don't believe them. Are you excited for Daredevil Born Again? Are you ready to see how that bleeds into Spider-Man 4? And are we ready to see what Spider-Man 4 is going to look like and how that bleeds into the future of other Marvel projects like Avengers 5 and Secret Wars? Let me know down below in the comments. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I will see all of you guys in the next video.